PR Connections Radio presents. This episode of Thinking into Results is brought to you by Classy Communications PR and Advertising. Classy Communications provides public relations and marketing solutions for businesses, professionals, and nonprofit organizations. They can deliver the true meaning of your business with press releases, social media marketing, web development, email marketing, book publishing, and much more. Wherever your potential clients are, they can help you connect with them. Visit classycommunications.net to learn more about their suite of services that can help your business stand out from the rest. Classy Communications is your solution for business success.
I guess you can be very successful without one, and probably some people do. But I would not have accomplished anywhere near what I have accomplished without a mentor. I have had a number of mentors, and my whole life has changed dramatically. I went from going nowhere to having a business that operates all over the world. If you want to win in a big way, you want to get a mentor. It's almost like getting a direct pipeline from their mind to your mind, where you're gaining all their wisdom, all their experience, and all the studying that they've done over a number of years. And like that, you get it all in a short period of time. Are mentors important? Well, I'm going to tell you, mentors literally changed the course of my life. Let's take a look at what thinking into results is and what it could do for you, how it came about. You see, my life had changed dramatically. I went from earning nothing to earning over $1 million a year. And I was sitting one day and I was thinking, how did all this happen? Do you know, I was reading Think and Grow Rich. I was studying Earl Nightingale's material. But a lot of people have read those books and studied Earl's material. And they weren't accomplishing what I was accomplishing. So I had to ask myself, what am I doing so different? You see, I had been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you've got to be really smart. I was earning over $1 million a year, and I didn't think I was that bright. I was also raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't win. Well, I hadn't gone to school. I went to high school for about 2 months. I didn't have a good job. I owned the entire company. If you want to be happy, healthy, and prosperous, it's all here. Thinking into results is going to show you how to get it. If what I've said really triggered something in your mind and you're thinking maybe, contact the certified PGI consultant, hit the button, leave the information, do yourself a favor, sit down and talk to them about what this program can do for you. This very well could be the decision that will change the rest of your life.
Thank you, Bob. Welcome to Thinking in Results, sponsored by S&J Mentoring and PRConnectionsRadio.com. My name's Sid Maestri. I'm a certified consultant with Proctor Gallagher Institute and TIR. And my co-host today is John Gage, a trained voice actor and fellow coach. And you're in for a treat, as our title today is Thinking in the Results, How We Do It. And John's got a story to kick off the show.
I thought you were going to tell them they're in for a treat because I'm so sweet, but I guess not. So since nobody's going to say that, I guess I'll move on. As you said, you know, the title is how we do it. So it's how you and I do it, and it's different. But there's a main theme to the whole thinking into results, because when you read this book here, Think and Grow Rich, one of the very first story he talks about the man who fought his way into a partnership with Thomas Edison. And this man's name was Edwin C. Barnes. And I'm going to close the book here because I know the story fairly well. And I'm not going to cover the whole thing because we only have 30 minutes. That's my fault. And by the way, guys, I really missed being on here last week. I was so sick. But Sid did great. So But Edward C. Barnes, this was a man that was so convinced, keyword, that Sid says I talk too much with my hands, so I'm going to do my best to keep them steady. This is a man that started out believing that he was already in a partnership with Thomas Edison. And you're like, well, how can that be? That doesn't happen. You have to work towards that. Okay, well, you're correct. Working towards a partnership is something that you have to do. You have to earn it. But Edwin C. Barnes' mindset was he was already a partner. When this man couldn't even afford to travel cross country. He mailed himself in a mail cart. Like, I don't know. I think they had to hang him on a hook. I mean, he was that poor, and he showed up. He was in ratty clothes. Clothes were, falling off of him. And he told Edison what he was there for. He says, I'm here to start a partnership with you. I am going to be your partner. And Edison didn't hire him because of the way he looked, didn't hire him for his qualifications. He hired him because his mindset was correct. And we talk about mindset a lot here, don't we, Sid? We talk about mindset constantly. And so his mindset was correct, and Edison knew that. He saw that. He said, okay, I'll give him a shot. I'll see how serious he is. He wants to be my partner. Let's see how this. And we're talking about a guy that had thousands of failures for just the light bulb. Okay. And his only comment when he was asked about that was, well, I learned 10,000 ways on how not to do it. So he understands mindset, and he believes that mindset is important. So he hires this guy, and he hires him as also. Barnes is sweeping, but every time Barnes shows up for work, Barnes is he may be sweeping the floors, but in his mind, he's a partner. He's a partner the whole time. And I don't know, he did this for several years. And Edison created his dictating machine. And all his salespeople were like, oh, you can't sell that. That's really going to be kind of a pain to sell. So Barnes says, I can do it. I can sell it. I'll sell it across country. And Thomas Edison said, okay, well, I'll give him a chance. And he ended up becoming partners with Thomas Edison with this. And it was the Thomas Edison dictating machine that was created by Thomas Edison and installed by Barnes. So he would come out and he would install this, teach you how to use it, and he became, back then, a millionaire simply by having his mind in the right place from the beginning. Yeah, he wanted to show up and be partners right away. He had to sweep the floor. We talk about all the time how the plan changes. Okay, he swept the floors, but he was still a partner in his mind. And that, in a nutshell, is what thinking into results is. It's saying, this is who I am. And that is what never changes. And that's part of the reason this was the very first story told in Thinking into Results. Would you agree with that assessment, Sid?
Yes.
I'm going to keep my hand still now.
Okay. Oh, do I get the floor? Yeah, thinking in results is simple in its essence. Change your thinking, change your results. And I talked about this last week, but I'm going to elaborate on it today. it all starts with your goal, like Alvin Barnes. It was Alvin.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty,
Okay,
if you
Mr.
think about it,
Barnes.
a guy in his position, that's a pretty bold goal. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
As you like to say, that's the seagull. I mean, the sea goal. Sorry.
Well, let me say a couple words about that.
Okay.
You're looking for your big goal, the one that really you have passion for. And we call it goals A, B, and C goals. An A goal is one that you know how to do. A B goal, if you think you can do it, you put the team together, you got a plan, and generally things happen, roadblocks, and you set it aside. With a C goal,
And folks, that is not the bird. That is a sea goal.
oh yeah,
That is
ABC.
seagull.
John's always on my case, but I love him. So when they've got they know what you want. And in the book's by Napoleon Hill. So I like to use his name on Think and Grow Rich. Is knowing what your goal is, and there's 6 steps that he teaches. You have to know what you want. You have to know when you want it. You need to know what you're going to give for it, what service or product you're going to do, and what's your plan. And your plan is where you stand right now. And if you don't have any idea, then the first step is you're writing down your goal. In fact, I like that we use positive affirmations. You could start with now with that. And whatever the goal is, whatever it looks like, you're seeing that in the present tense. So the 6 steps: know what you want, know when you want it, what you're going to give for it, and what's your plan. You write it out. Those 4 things, write that out in a nice, I like to call it a vision statement. And then you read it twice a day in front of a mirror, morning and night. That's a minimum. You can do it more times.
So, Sid,
you're going to speak to yourself with enthusiasm, which I call it, with passion and unbridled enthusiasm, which I always laugh whenever I say that, because I always picture a young colt running across the pasture.
So, Sid, do me a favor and give our listeners and viewers an example for you of getting that C goal and how thinking into results worked for you. You got about 6 minutes, go.
Now we're talking the story I just told you before we came on.
Yeah.
Okay. This is when I started working with thinking into results, and I wanted to be successful, and this is Bob Proctor's program, and I wanted to go on the stage and get presented with a diamond pin, which is $1 million in sales. And I couldn't see myself. And I knew it. And I want to say I was powerless to change. And what was missing for me was a mentor for this program. Accountability partner, but primarily a mentor that I could talk to who would tell me, write it down and meditate on it, see it, and speak in front of the mirror. I only added this in front of the mirror with passion, unbridled enthusiasm a few years ago. So I struggled a lot, and I'm on my way, but I know what kept me from going further. I couldn't see it. So I had very, very visual, I want to say a picture, but I couldn't hold it. So I think John, it's time for John to jump in with I guess desire, the desire within it, the idea and desire.
Well, I mean, desire is the main root of all of this. I mean, like Barnes had a desire, a very strong desire to be Thomas Edison's partner. Not only that, he pictured himself in that position. Because we talk a lot about how we think in pictures. That's just like my situation here. I know 3 years ago where I was, let's see, at this time 4 years ago now, I was actually in the hospital in a coma. And at that time, they were considering amputating my legs. And now I'm in Florida. I have a great job. I have a beautiful wife. I have a loving family. And I just purchased a home, which was a goal that I had. I'd never done before. And not only that, I didn't have a job when I was in the hospital. I didn't have any income. But I knew where I would be when I got out of the hospital. I saw it with such vision and such, it was literally done. I had no doubts where I would be. We do vision boards. And that's why we do vision boards. Because you said that you have a hard time picturing yourself in the position. The great thing with AI now is you can actually have a picture of what you want and put yourself there, which is a great way to utilize the AI. It allows you to put that vision in focus, because we do think in pictures, and when we see that, it's like, oh, it becomes a kind of a reality. When you do the AI, you get this form of, oh, this really could happen. And now you're affirming yourself because you have this desire to look like that, or to live there, or to have this much income. You can literally have a picture of it, create a vision board, and I don't know how many people I talk to that say, I can't believe I put this on the vision board and I got that exact item. We talk about frequency and how our subconscious works, and the little stick figure that we've shown in the past. Since you're remodeling your house, Sid, you should paint that on the wall behind you. I think that would be a great thing to have, that little stick figure, so we can say, yeah, the stick figure behind Sid, that their subconscious sees this item all the time. And the person goes, that's my ring. This house that I'm in, that's my house. I did it every day faithfully. I had it scrolling across the screen on my computer. That's my house. That's my kitchen. Oh, I'm going to be cooking this and this and this and this in my kitchen. Oh, that's my swimming pool. I'm going to be doing this and this in my swimming pool. That's my living room. Oh, there's going to be a TV there. It's going to be this big. I'm going to have this. I'm going to do this. This is where we're going to put the sofa. This is where we're going to put the love seat. And I did that every single day. And even when it got 3 feet from the gold vein, I went, no. Because that's a discouragement. And what I mean by that is it's a discouragement. It pushes you away. I wasn't going to be detoured by anything for this. And I'm telling you, it really pushed really hard, but it also was a huge growth for me. It was a huge learning experience. And that's what we mean by your A, B, and C goals. A C goal changes who you are, as well as accomplishes something you've never done before. Do you have anything to add to this, Sid? I mean, Ivan was like, your office looks bigger. I'm like, yeah, it's twice the size, dude. It's great.
No, John, no, I've been, well, no, I've been waiting because whenever we do these calls, we have an idea of what we're going to talk about. Listening to you, I always get another idea, something else to add, and that is commitment. So when you have that big goal, I have a little essay called, we call it commitment. Until one is committed, there's hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. And that's that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents and meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamt would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. And this is from W.H. Murray, Scottish Himalayan Expedition, which had been probably in the 1890s. So that's commitment. And it occurred to me, I got a great example on commitment and being just interested. We like to say, well, you do what's convenient. Committed, you do what it takes. And the analogy is bacon and eggs. The chicken is interested, and it's dropping the eggs and goes about its day. But the pig
It's fully committed.
The pig is fully committed to get us some bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Another expression when John was talking about once the commitment's made, I like to say the universe conspires to help you get it. Divine intervention is another expression. Ideas come to you, you meet people, you see something, you read something, but all these things can come to you, if I can say, from God's source that's helping you get what you want. And the vibration, everything's vibration. And when you're vibrating at what you want, that's sending the universe to bring things to you that are vibrating at the level of what you want. I hope that's not too confusing.
No, it's like this. When we were kids and we got determined, I'm determined to do that. You know, what happened? Things started happening. We didn't understand it as kids. I didn't understand it as a kid. I understand it now. But things would start happening. Things would start pushing you towards that because you got determined. And really, it was just you going, I'm going to accomplish that no matter what. We just put our mind to it and we could move forward. And that's really the biggest and simplest way to put goal setting, whether it's a health goal, whether it's a financial goal, whether it's, a family goal. It has to be something, in order for it to be a true goal, it has to change who you are. It has to be something you've never done before, and you have to believe you can do it. If none of those, if that criteria isn't met, it's an A goal or a B goal. It's not a C goal. You want that C goal. Those are the criteria that have to be met. Those are the criteria that change lives, the criteria that changes nations, the criteria that changes companies. All of that is what is necessary for life to move forward. And that's what we need to do. We need to move forward. We only have a few more minutes. Sid, you got any closing thoughts before I close?
Yes, but following up what you were talking about, as you started, the word that came to mind was doubt. You can't have any doubt. And we talk about having, let's say, having faith that you can do it, a belief in faith, which leads to knowing you can do it.
Right.
And number 3 is expecting it. And it all starts with you got the idea, and it turns into a burning idea to get it. And through the repetition, you can overcome doubt, and like Barnes knew he could be Thomas as his partner, and we don't know how many years he was sweeping the floor, but he paid his dues.
Exactly, and he was determined to become his partner. That's really the key. I mean, I know the whole thing sounds really simple, but that's really how simple it is. I mean, when you break it down to its simplest and layman terms, those are the terms.
I have another story, real quick,
Okay. Okay, yep, because I need to close. So
when I was in high school, freshman in high school, I loved basketball. I've been playing some basketball. I didn't make the freshman team. I felt I was better than some, but I didn't make the freshman team. So that spring, I was out shooting baskets Monday through Thursday after school. And the next year I'm a sophomore. I make the B team, and I'm a starter. A year later, I'm a junior, got for the varsity. Guess who's a starter? Because even in the off season, I was always out shooting, and just as a little claim to success, I always practice my free throws. I'm 84 now. I was shooting 90% free throws when I was 15, and it continued into my 70s. I don't shoot them anymore, but I have confidence if I went out there. Practice, repetition. Oh, and I went to college, going out for the team. A lot of guys were better than me. Second game, they put me in, and I was a starter after that. The ball's in your court. I give you 2 minutes.
okay.
You want to give a plug?
You want to know what the most amazing part of that story is? You can remember that far back. Did you hear me?
Yes. Well, I could hear you. I hadn't thought about that. It was a lesson.
But no, it's good to have those stories, and it's good to remember that far back. I know it's getting late, so I just want to thank everybody for sharing your time with us. We really appreciate it. And if you wish to learn more about achieving your goals with us, you go to sj-mentoring.com. That's sj-mentoring.com. Fill out the form. You need to fill the form out because that's the only forms we have currently for communication, so that someone can get in touch with you, and then we can, have a discussion. It's a $250 value because we need to learn your unique situation, your unique goals, so that we can help you accomplish those goals. Like, share. We really appreciate that. It helps the algorithm, and it makes, it may help somebody else someday. And join us next week. We're going to talk about desire. It is no longer the name of a streetcar.
Thank you, John.
I know. I'm so good. Anyhow,
I'm looking
again,
forward.
just remember to contact us at sj-mentoring.com. Fill out the form so we can help you, and we're looking forward to talking to you next week. You have a fantastic day.
Thank you, John.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.